Hello, I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom, and in this video we're going to be continuing with Kirsten's story, and I'm going to be reviewing her mystery. So she only has one, as opposed to several of the other dolls. I think Addie might only have one too, but I could be wrong. So her mystery is the Runaway Friend. And this one, as with her short stories, this happened right before their first winter. So this is still early on after they just got to Minnesota. So in this story, they have a bunch of friends over, including a reporter who's from Sweden, she's basically writing to encourage people to move to America. And now, studying my own history, this was not popular in Sweden. They did not want people leaving, and they did. About 10 years after these stories, this is taking place in the 1850s. In the 1860s, there was a mass immigration of Swedes because there was famine. People were dying. The ground in Sweden was rocky and hard. It was difficult to farm. People couldn't really buy their own farms. It was still kind of living underneath different masters. And the religion was very, very strict. They were very strict. I believe it's Anglican. So people were not happy and they left anyway. So in this story, what happens is a young man by the name of Eric, who's Swedish, is also helping the family, and he's the runaway friend. He disappears. Now, they had bought oxen. Her uncle Olaf had bought oxen. They're using those oxen to bring in the wheat. Well, shortly after, not only the reporter, Eric, and another family by the name of the Greens, and I think there's another family that was there as well. Shortly after everybody leaves, the sheriff comes and takes the oxen because apparently Eric had bought them, basically gotten a loan, and Olaf had helped him. And Eric had not paid back the loan, and he disappears. So the sheriff takes the oxen, and Kirsten and they're trying to bring in the wheat. It's very hard. Certain things start disappearing. Kirsten's trying to figure things out, including her necklace, which is the amber heart necklace that she wears in her stories. But I'm trying to see. No, you can't see it I have one of her short stories here, but I don't have the mystery physical form. I read it in digital. You can find it on Amazon in ebook form. So, which is how I read it. She does eventually find that Joanna Green, who's the 10-year-old girl who's come with her parents, it was her mother who stole them. Her mother's having a hard time. She does not like Minnesota. At the end of the story, they do end up going back to Sweden. I don't know how common that would be. To be honest, I find that a little off because, again, it would probably be better off if they'd gone to, like, the city or the town or something. But they would have to, how on earth they would fund their way back home. Yeah, I find that part of the story a little hard to fathom, but I suppose it might be possible. But regardless, there's also a few little trinkets, and it turns out that Eric and Kirsten kind of figured out, partially because of reading the newspaper, he had come over with his sister, but she had fallen in love with an American in St. Paul. So that's St. Paul, Minnesota. And they had a fight because Eric didn't like him. And it did turn out that he was kind of a nasty person. And he'd stopped her from writing a letter to him, and she sent this pearl button of a cape that he had gotten her, and that he had called her, that Eric had basically said she's getting above her station. So she sent the button, and he also he was paying for a luxury of a newspaper because that was the only way he could learn English. And there was a notice about a man missing his wife and hunting for her. And it was his sister. So he left in a hurry. That's where he had gone. He eventually obviously came back to get his sister, who was staying with a friend, because she had left her husband because he was nasty. So But eventually, yeah, that's the basis of Kirsten the Mysteries, her trying to figure out, okay, where did Eric go? What is going on? And eventually finding her sister. They are able to rent a set of oxen able to bring most of their wheat in, and believe they end up being able to buy another pair of oxen. So it's a very interesting story. Again, like the short stories, this is happening early on in Kirsten's story, rather than as opposed to, again, what I read with some of the other dolls who were produced afterwards, where the stories are taking place after their original 6. So, which is, for me, is interesting, because again, these things came out, when did Kirsten's Mystery come out? I think I have it pulled up here. It came out, see, this is interesting. It came out in 2008. So it is interesting. So I'm trying to see, because, yeah, Addie only has one mystery. And I haven't read Samantha's. See, Josephina's came out a little bit mixture before and after that. So again, I find it interesting that it's taking place during the course of her books and in the fact very beginning, as opposed to, again, Caroline's, Felicity's, Cecile and Marie Grace's, and even Josephina's take place after their original series takes place. Still, it's a good, interesting, fun mystery. I am a fan of mysteries. I wish they had made more Kirsten mysteries. Maybe they will in the distant future. So, but that is it for this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.